All right, here with you in High Point, North Carolina, and we are going to be using body grip traps to trap a groundhog that has made a den in an old stump that has rotted out. The groundhog has found the hole, excavated the hole, and is actually going back up under the slab of this porch. So we don't want that. The homeowner doesn't want that. The homeowner saw the groundhog here yesterday, saw the groundhog actually go in the hole. So that's how we know what we're dealing with. This is actually pretty classic for groundhogs excavating a place that's already has some type of hole already. So anyway, if you look around at the vegetation here, it's all been nipped off. And I was looking at this earlier, and this looks like the groundhog is just extremely hungry and has ate all this vegetation. It looks like somebody took a weed eater in here, but the groundhog has done all of this. So pretty neat, but we're gonna get this set up and see what we can catch. This is a body grip trap. This is a 220 body grip trap. So in North Carolina, you are allowed to set these on or out of the water anywhere on dry land. You just have to check them once a day. So we're gonna get this set up. It's a great groundhog trap. See what we can catch and do. Hopefully help this landowner out. And this is this landowner, as we came over here and looked at this job today for the landowner, there's actually a baby fawn on the landowner's porch up front in the shade, just resting. I guess it's waiting for its mama to come back. So that's pretty cool. We got some pictures and video of that. So this trap is set now. Again, this is a Belisle 220 trap. Has safeties on the springs. Maybe we'll just fire this thing real quick so you can see how it works. Let me find something a little bigger. So this trap is going to go and cover this hole where the groundhog's going in. So it'll be back in there a little ways, but it's going to be sitting something like this. And this is basically like a big mouse trap. So once this trap goes off and clamps onto the animal, it's lights out pretty quick. It suffocates them, all of that. So it gets them really fast. It's a really humane trap. It's really great, but you do not want to use a trap like this if there are pet dogs or pet cats around in the area. I did ask this homeowner about that, and he said no. There's a chain link fence around the property. He said they do not have dogs, do not have cats, so I'm not as worried about that incidental take here with this trap in this situation. Other situations, you would want to use a cage trap to get rid of the groundhogs so you didn't have any accidental take. All right, watch this. See it snap that stick off? So it caught the stick right there, but a groundhog or any animal that size would be completely compressed here between the jaws of the trap on each side, and it would suffocate them. So we're going to get that set up. Unless you have setting tongs, you have to manhandle these traps, get the springs to compress. And these Belisle 220s are a really stout trap, but I like them because it's more humane, because it's a quicker kill. And I do like that. So let's get the dog back on the trigger. Dog's on the trigger, safeties are on, so let's cover the hole with this trap. I like to set my triggers on the bottom. It's all situational, but if the situation allows, I like to do this method. You want to make sure you've got everything out of the way that could impede the trap and slow it down. That'll mess you up. So I think this trap will fit in there. Let's see. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. So I'm gonna go ahead and take the safeties off. Because of the way the springs are angled when I put the trap in there, I can't get them off. But now the safeties are off, I do not get my hands in front of this trap. Because if it latches on you, it's really hard to get off, especially without setting tongs. I don't know if you can see, that looks pretty good. I'll zoom in on it here in a second. Always stake your traps down very good. You never know what could happen. So I like this pretty good. I feel like the groundhog is gonna have to go through the trap to leave or go back in the hole. And I might put just a little bit of blocking right here at the top just so he doesn't try to climb out this way. But I think that once I get this blocked in here, the groundhog will wanna go through the trap. Now, I did mention there's another hole on this side. I'm gonna go ahead and set another trap there. If I look in the hole, it doesn't really go anywhere. But you never know if there's groundhogs already out in the environment that are going to try to go back in. And if that's the case, who knows, he might try to go in the hole that doesn't really have anything in it. And that's the hole that the landowner saw him in yesterday. So we'll go ahead and set it up. We got enough traps, so we might as well. You don't want to take any shortcuts. Wildlife is they're always unpredictable. Every species is unpredictable, and you definitely don't want to take shortcuts. If you've got the equipment, you need to set the traps. The property owner who's paying for this would want me to set multiple traps here instead of just one, hoping we catch them. They want you to do the best way, or the best thing possible to get their money's worth. Good, great. Come on. Get up there. Okay. Whew. Stout. These traps, actually, the springs aren't as stout as those Belisles, but the eyes on the springs are so little, it's really hard to get them hand set. Okay. So, we're gonna set this other hole really quick. This is not a Belisle trap. This is, it may be a Victor, it may be a Duke. It's not a Belisle though. But anyway, same method. It's the exact same trap, just made just a little bit different. But we're gonna set this one over the hole. Go ahead and take my safety off. This one. This one. All right, safeties are off, so I'm not getting my hands in front of the trap or my head or anything. Okay, that one placed a lot better. Good stake in there. All right, I feel like that's pretty good. So I'm going to block the top of this end so that groundhog is not gonna go over the top. Let me find some stuff to do that with. Okay, found a board, decking board, and I found some other stuff that's been cut from the yard. So we can make all this work. I don't like that as much, but we'll do this. So when you're doing this, you just don't want to block the jaws of the trap. You don't want anything to slow those jaws down, and you want those springs to be able to expand. All right, let's get you a close-up. So there's the trap on the hole that doesn't really go anywhere. That's where the groundhog was seen yesterday, going back into that hole. This is the hole that goes up under the slab, and we have that trap there. It's blocked in pretty well from the top. It's the best place I could get it. So assuming the groundhog is in there, we'll see what happens. Now, if he's out in the environment, hopefully he'll come back into his hole and get caught. So let's find out. Let's go set another trap on a different spot.